Today we're going to talk about adding and subtracting rational expressions. So with this one, I just need you guys to watch me go through a couple of problems. Don't work ahead. Don't ask any questions. Just watch me. Let it absorb. And then we'll talk about it, okay? Because it can be a little bit weird, all right? So adding and subtracting fractions, this is just a review, but you do need to know how to do it without the calculator in order to understand how to do that with rationals, okay? So if I look at just 3/5 and 1/2, if I'm adding those two together, what?
Oh, you need times.
Wait, okay, hold on, right? So in case there are people who don't remember, I'm going to review this. So what you need to do is, right now, these two, they don't have a common denominator, right? So if you have 3/5 and you have 1/2 and you're adding these two together, well, you need to make sure that their denominators are the same. Right now it's 5 and 2. Okay. So in order to find the least common denominator, you need to find the least common multiple. Okay? So in my first fraction, I have a 5, my denominator. In my second fraction, I have a 2 in my denominator, right? What are the multiples of, like let's think about this. What are the multiples of 5 and 2?
Okay.
So yeah, there's 5, there's 10. 2 would be what?
4, 6,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. So their smallest or their least common multiple is 10, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I know, okay, my LCD is 10. However, you know, if you just look at what you had in your denominator, 5 and 2, those aren't, I mean, they're totally different numbers, right? Okay, so then you just have to make sure you bring everybody down and you multiply it, and you can also do 10. Okay? So if I want to make both of these have a denominator of 10, well then I need to multiply a number to this denominator to get 10, right? 5 times what gives me 10?
2.
So if I multiply by 2 on the bottom, I need to multiply the top. So then 3/5 is also the same as 6/10. So then what? 2 times what gives me 10? 5. Whatever I multiply on the bottom, I have to multiply on the top. And then now, bless you.
Thank you.
Now I need to add. But you know how we got the least common denominator? Do I add my denominators?
No.
No. Okay, good. That stays the same. All right. And then you just add your numerators, right? So this is 11 over 10. Good. All right? Yeah. Okay, let's
3
try
and
the
4 are
next
the
one.
ones that I'm worried about.
So then when you subtract, it's the same thing. You have 7/8 minus 5/12. Okay, so with this one, we can list out all the multiples, but we're actually going to prime factor this, okay? And I'm going to prime factor it because that is the more helpful one when you have rationals. So in order to find the least common denominator, in my first fraction, what's in my denominator? 8. In my second fraction, what's in my denominator? 12. All right, so here's what we have. This 8, if we break it down into prime factors, what times what gives me 8? 4 times 2. 4 is not prime. Let's break it down into prime. 2 times 2 times 2. Do you agree? It's like if we did the factor tree or the factor ladder. This is breaking it down into just the prime numbers, right? So then 12. Let's think about 12. I'm thinking 4 times 3, but 4 is also 2 times 2. Do you agree? So then that's 2 times 2 times 3. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And you need to pay attention to this. This will help you when we go into like factors. It's gonna get weird. All right. So look at your prime factors. What do they have in common?
Two 2's.
Okay, so I see 2's. There's 1, so I'm going to bring that guy down. Now look at these 2's. Okay, there's another 1, so I'm going to bring that guy down. Anything else that they have in common?
No.
No, but everyone does need to come down. So I need to bring this 2 down, and I also need to bring this 3 down. Do you see what I just did? Okay. What is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3?
24.
24. So the least common denominator of 8 and 12 is 24.
So when you're doing that factoring,
From where?
2 times 2 times. Starting with like 2 times 2 times 2 like that.
Because you can't say 4 times 2, because 4 is not a prime number. You need to break it down into all prime numbers.
So prime factoring is just
Breaking it down into the most basic, like I can't break it down any more numbers, right? So if your least common denominator is 24, well then we're just going to do the same thing, right? Both of these need to be 24. Okay? 8 times what gives me 24? 3. So whatever you multiply on the bottom, you multiply on the top. 12 times what
2.
gives me 24? 2. And like we said before, we don't subtract the denominators. The denominator stays the same, but you do subtract your numerators. What's 21 minus 10?
11.
So 11 over 24. Okay? Any questions on what happened there? Yeah.
I got 11 24, but like we use the prime factor.
So what is a prime number? Yeah, but like what is a prime
A
number? A
number that
prime
can only be
number is
divided
a
by
number
1 in
that you can,
itself.
yeah, you can only multiply itself and 1 to get that number. So like 2 is a prime number,
7.
3 is a prime number, 4 is not, because 4 you could do 2 times 2, or you could do 4 times 1.
7.
5,
7.
7,
9.
no,
3 times
9
3.
you could do 3 and 3.
11.
11, right? So you want to break down each of these numbers. I feel like 8 could be 2 times 4, right? But say if you were to do a factor ladder, 2, 2, 2.
That's why you have 3 times the last one. That's why you have 3 times the last one.
Yeah.
12, you just do the same thing. You just break it down by prime.
Yeah,
That's
so
always
12,
prime.
I said 4 times 3. But 4, you can't put 4 because 4 is not a prime number. So 2 times 2.
Okay, so you just like factor it out that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You could, but only if you have numbers. Okay? Okay, so don't get too hung up on this. Okay? When we get into rational expressions, we need this, but it'll be a little bit different. Alright? Okay. We're going to find the least common denominator with these. I need everyone to make sure you're paying attention when I explain this, okay? All right. So, with 3 and 4, we're not adding or subtracting. All we're doing is finding the LCD, okay? So, you know how for the examples before, I looked at them as, well, this is fraction 1 and that's fraction 2, right? Okay, so that's how we're going to do it. To find the LCD, I have a fraction 1 and I have a fraction 2. Okay? You need to make sure that you factor first if you can. So if I look at both of my denominators here, can I factor this? No, it's already factored. Can I factor this? No, it's already factored. Okay, so I'm going to go to my fraction 1. In my denominator, I have x minus 4. Now, my fraction 2, I have 2 times x plus 4. Alright, so, I mean, that's all I have there. We're going to do the same thing that we did in the previous problem. Do I have any in common? Because this is the least common denominator. Anything in common?
The 4s.
Well, but you can't break
Plus and minus.
away any plus or minus stuff, right? If anything is connected by a plus or minus, you can't break them apart. They go together. So this whole entire x minus 4, well, I don't see another one. The 2, I don't see another 2. X plus 4, I don't see another x plus 4. So, nothing in common, well then everyone just comes down. Okay? So the 2 comes down. The x minus 4 comes down. And the x plus 4 comes down. Okay? And that is your LCD.
In that order, or could it be in any
Yeah.
order?
Could be in any order. But generally we like to put, you know, like the 2 or like the 1 term stuff, we like to put those in the front.
Mm-hmm. And we just put
Okay.
these underneath the stuff and then the x.
Oh yeah, but we're just finding the LCD. We're not doing anything else with it.
Uh,
Alright, so let's look at number 4. So if I look at the denominators in number 4, can I factor this?
yeah.
Yes. Well then let's factor it.
Very good.
You have to. It's an AM factoring. It's x plus 3 and x plus 3. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
We've got the 9.
And then look at the next one. X minus, yeah. X plus 3, x minus 3. Because that's a dose factoring, right? And like we said before, fraction 1, fraction 2. Okay? So let's go and find the LCD of these two guys. Fraction 1, fraction 2. Remember, least common denominator, only get what's in the denominator. In factored form, x plus 3 times x plus 3. And my second one, x plus 3 times x minus 3. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I'm going to see what they have in common.
Plus 3.
X plus 3. And you remember how we couldn't like double cross out before, right? You can't do that here either. 1 for 1. Yeah? So I have one x plus 3 that's, you know, in common with another x plus 3. So I'm going to write that guy only one time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then look at the other factors that are still left over. Remember what I said? Everybody needs to come down, right? So then just bring them all down. X plus 3 comes down. And then the x minus 3 comes down.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? It might look weird, and it might feel very awkward, but this is how you do it. This is the easiest way that I found throughout the years to teach this. Okay? Yeah. All right. So let's try it with a real example. So when we go to add and subtract rational expressions, the first thing that we need to do is find the least common denominator. And then after you find the LCD, you're going to multiply each numerator. Remember how we did with the numbers? Or I guess multiply each fraction. I guess we could say fraction. Sorry. Say fraction. Multiply each fraction by the missing factors of the common denominator. Right? What is this missing? Well, then I need to multiply that on the bottom and on the top. That kind of thing, right? And remember, if you have two factors on the top, you need to distribute or FOIL. Okay? And then number 3, add or subtract just the what?
Numerator.
The numerator, yeah, the top. The numerator, good. And then you want to simplify your remaining fraction if possible, okay? Once you get it down to one fraction, that's when you can do the, oh, can anything cross out? That's what they mean by simplify, okay? And we can make a little note for ourselves. All right, can anything be crossed out? That's only if you have it down to one fraction. All right. So let's try an example. So number 5. Okay. I have 2x over x plus 3 plus 6 over x plus 3. Well, what do you notice about this?
The
Already
denominators are the
done.
same.
Yeah, your denominators are already the same, right? So you don't really have to do the long way of finding the LCD, but if you wanted to try out this method, yeah. Fraction 1, your denominator is x plus 3. Fraction 2, your denominator is x plus 3. Well, what do they have in common? X plus 3. So that is your LCD, okay? But if you look and they have the same LCD, you don't have to do this, okay? So you're basically, you don't need to, they're not missing anything, they're the same. So your common denominator is x plus 3. And then you just add your numerator. So 2x plus 6. Right?
Can you cross out the x's or
So you can't cross out x's here because they're connected by a plus sign,
Can't simplify.
but you can simplify.
Where?
This is just like
Oh.
our lesson on simplifying
you
rational
can divide by
expressions.
2?
Factor. Factor it all out and see if you can cross out anything. This is a GCF factor. So you should be able to do 2 times x plus 3 over x plus 3. And then those cross out, and
The
then
answer
you
is
have
2.
just 2. All right? To be honest with you, I think this might be the most difficult lesson in this whole unit. So if you guys are understanding it so far, then that is good news. All right? All right, so look at number 6. Do I need to find the LCD? No, it's already the same. So then this one, 2x. And on top, I have 3x minus 4x. You guys can combine those, right? Those are like terms. 3x minus 4x equals what?
Negative x over
Negative
2x.
Over 2x.
But can you cross out the x's? Or?
Absolutely. Are these x's and numbers connected by a plus or a minus sign?
No.
No. So that means you can actually cross out.
Negative 1 half.
I mean, because that's really a negative 1x. So look, those cancel out. So this is really negative 1 half. Any questions? What? No, you shouldn't on these. These two are easy. They gave you the denominator. All right, so let's look at number 7. All right, so number 7. Do they have the same denominator?
No.
No. So let's find the LCD. Remember, this is fraction 1 and that's fraction 2. So fraction 1, what's in your denominator?
2x.
2 times x. Fraction 2.
3 times x times x.
3x squared is 3 times x times x. And I would actually write those out so that, you know, until you become a little bit more comfortable. Okay? What do they have in common?
An X.
An x. So, you can write that once. What else is there that needs to come out? Everything else. 2, the 3, the other x. And so what is all that when you multiply it?
6x squared.
Yeah, 6x squared. This is your LCD. Yeah, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't, but 6x squared. So I'm going to look at both of these and I'm going to think, okay, what is this first one missing to look like 6x squared?
3x.
3x. So if you multiply that on the bottom, you multiply it on the top. So what is the second one missing? The 3x squared. What does this need? Just the 2? Yep.
15x plus 4 over 6x.
So make sure you draw your new fraction. You can just do 1, right? And just write your LCD on the bottom, which is 6x squared, because that's what those two are now, right? And then up on top, basically, what's 3x times 5?
15x plus 4.
15x plus 2 times 2, which is 4. Can you factor this? No. So you just leave. Alright, so you can't do anything else. You can't simplify it, so this is it. Okay? Alright, so let's look at number 8. Alright, so number 8. Well, first off, they don't have the same LCD. The second one isn't even written as a fraction, but you guys know how to do that. You just have to put a 1 underneath, right? If you ever have a 1 as your other denominator, well then this is easy, because what is your denominator? 6x, right? Okay, so your LCD is 6x. So what is this first one missing?
Nothing.
Nothing, because it's already 7 over 6x. It's not missing anything. So I'm going to put 7. What is the second one missing?
6x.
6x. So 7 minus 30x. Oh, oops, I thought I hit red. Okay.
You have to write it in the standard form?
I mean, you can. So with this, you can write it in standard form. But is it going, can you factor this though? 7, 30? No, you can't. So you could leave it like this, or yeah, you could change it to standard form. Yes? Uh-huh. No, because this one is connected by a plus or minus. Because remember, then that means you can't be separated. The only way you guys can separate anything with a plus or minus is to factor it. Yeah. You sure? Listen, I'm sure somebody else is wondering the same thing. All right, I told you this is weird, and it's not going to feel natural, okay? But it will. All right. So let's look at this. Clearly, not the same denominator right now. We need to find the LCD. So fraction 1, fraction 2. So off to the side, I'm going to say LCD.
X minus 2x plus 6.
Fraction 1, what's in the denominator?
X minus 3.
X minus 3. Fraction 2, what's
2.
in the denominator? Now, remember, you can't break up anything that's connected by a plus or a minus. Do you see anything in common here? No. So everybody just needs to come down. So we have x minus 3 times x plus 2. That is my LCD. Nope, don't even FOIL it. You want to leave it, okay? All right, so let's go and, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my LCD on the bottom of a fraction. Okay. Now, let me go and see what they're missing. So fraction 1, I already have an x minus 3. What does it need to look like the LCD?
X plus 2.
It needs an x plus 2. So whatever you multiply on the bottom, you need to multiply it on the top.
Does that mean you put the 3 and then put a parentheses and
Yep,
then?
parentheses, yes. So the second one is missing an x minus 3. Whatever you multiply on the bottom, you multiply on the top. Yep. And then, you know what? You can distribute it. So it's really this guy, right? Plus 5 times x minus 3. I'm just going to rewrite it so that it's easier for you guys to see. Don't just leave it like this, right? Because we actually have to add, subtract, multiply, do all of that for the numerator. So in the numerator, you do have to distribute. Right? So I need to copy this over, put my LCD back. 3x plus 6, yeah, plus 5x minus 15. Am I done here? No, you can combine like terms. 3x and 5x, and the 6 and the negative 15. Just have to make sure you stay organized. Keep your work neat. Yeah. 3x plus 5x is
8x.
8x. What?
Minus 9.
Minus 9. Can you factor 8x minus 9? No, so that's it. You can't do anything else. Because when you get it down to this one fraction, the reason why you want to factor again is to see if you can cross out stuff. Okay? So this one looks a lot more fun. Fraction 1, fraction 2. Okay, we definitely need to find the LCD here. Fraction 1, fraction 2. All right, if you look at the denominators for both of your fractions, do you need a factor? Yes. X squared minus 36, x plus 6, x minus 6. How about this guy? X times x plus 6. Good. So there are my denominators that I need to go and put into my LCD. Yeah? So what do you see that they have in common? X plus 6. So remember, we write the one that they have in common one time. What else needs to come down?
Everything else.
X and
X minus 6.
x minus 6. So this is your LCD. Okay? So I'm going to draw a long fraction. X times x plus 6 over x minus, or times x minus 6. What is the first one missing?
X.
Just the x. Good. So whatever you multiply to the bottom, you need to multiply to the top. So 2x, right? Oh, and look at this. What operation is this? Subtraction. So minus. Okay. What is the second fraction
X
missing?
minus 6.
It's missing the x minus 6. Oh my goodness. Look at that. minus 1 times x minus 6, right? Minus 1 times the x minus 6, right?
Can't
So,
read.
Mrs. Osborne, why did you write it all out? You really have to put that negative 1 there.
Yeah.
You know, I did because this is a common mistake that we see every single year. If you have a negative in front of parentheses, what do you need to do?
Distribute.
Distribute that negative. Please make sure you distribute that negative. Where are you? Okay, just catch up.
You know how you said x, like the x was x was 6 and minus 6 is up there, like your fraction. Like I don't know how you did that.
What, this?
No, up, like.
What, this?
No.
Where? What? Tell me.
Right there.
X.
X was 6, x minus 6. Like underneath x was
No, this was the factor form of this. The blue is the factor form. What is this missing to look like the LCD? Just the x minus 6. The thing that is missing, I'm writing in red. Because both of these denominators want to look like this. So right now, this one, the second one only has an x and an x plus 6, then it's missing that one. And then whatever you multiply on the bottom, you got to multiply on the top. Here's the thing, if you guys are distributing up here, that's fine, but if you see a negative, you need to make sure you distribute that negative, okay? All right. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to distribute. Let's see what I get. 2x minus x, and then what?
Plus 6.
Good.
So, wait.
Can we get rid of
Yeah,
the
to get rid
negative
of the
x?
x. To get rid of the x plus 6.
No, I want to get... No, because
can't.
that's a negative. Can we get rid of the negative x?
No, you can't just get rid of stuff. Guys, on top, right here, what are you doing?
Oh, 2 plus 6?
Because from here, negative 1, you distribute. Negative 1 times x gives you negative x. Negative 1 times negative 6 gives you positive 6.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you going to subtract the 2x minus the x
Yeah.
to get 2 and then add that to 6?
No, it's not 2. Hey guys, listen, don't overthink stuff. Look, you're just doing whatever you need to do, like just doing the operations in the numerator. What is 2x minus 1x? What's 2 minus 1? 1. It's just 1x, right? So up top, you just have the 1x. Can you combine the 6 with it?
No.
You can't combine it, you just bring it down, right?
So then can she cancel out the x plus 6?
And then you have x times x plus 6, x minus 6. Yeah, the 1, you're right, you don't have to write that 1.
We get rid of those
Right.
then?
And then Dylan, what were you saying?
Then can she get rid of the x plus 6?
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
You're
wouldn't
down
it
to
be-
one fraction. You've simplified everything. You've factored everything out. They're all factors. You see the same thing on the top and the same thing on the bottom? Yeah.
So then shouldn't your answer be 1 over x parentheses x minus 6?
Yeah. Okay? Next one. Fraction 1, fraction 2.
Question.
Yes.
Do we need to
Nice.
factor the top?
Absolutely.
No, we
But
need
we
to
can't-
factor the bottom.
Factor just the
But-
bottom.
but-
No,
so
we
if
don't have to do that.
Here's the thing. You know what? Actually, Dylan asked a really good question. Do we need to factor the top? No.
If we put
No. Don't factor the top. No. Don't factor the top. Oh my god, you guys are confused. Hold on. No, don't factor the top because You just want to factor the bottom so you can see what it is you need to multiply and stuff by, you know? So then, say you already had like this trinomial. If I'm missing like a 2, then I just need to multiply this whole thing by a 2. If you factored it out, then you need to distribute that back and then multiply. Don't do it.
Okay. So just don't factor this stuff.
Don't factor the top.
Okay.
But if the bottom has like an x plus 2 and the top has an x plus 2.
Yeah, but you'll do that
then
after.
also,
Here's, okay, so you'll do that after you get rid of these 2 fractions into 1. And the way you make them into 1 is if you combine all your like terms on the top. But if you already have them broken up into factors, how are you going to know which ones are the like terms? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so just wait.
Yes.
You're still going to do that, but just wait until.
You need to wait. So x squared minus 12x plus 32, if you factor this. I know, it's crazy. The thing is crazy.
This makes me really sleepy, and I don't know why.
Okay?
Oh, that's
X minus 4
It's
times
nice
x
in
minus
there.
8.
I know, but like the heat,
All right.
it just makes us tired.
So fraction 1, fraction 2, we're going to do the same thing to find the LCD. Saying x minus 4 times x minus 8 for fraction 1. Fraction 2 is x minus 8.
X minus 8.
Yeah, what about the x minus 8?
They're the same.
They're the
James.
same.
It's both of them.
They're the same in both, so we write that one time. What else needs to come down?
X minus 4.
So this is my LCD, okay? All right, so look at the first fraction. Am I missing anything?
No.
No. Look at my second fraction. Am I missing anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, what am I missing?
X minus 4.
Yeah. Whatever you multiply on the bottom, you multiply to the top. Okay? All right, and then this is the reason why we don't factor the top. Everything up on top. Well, the first one didn't change. So we have x squared plus x minus 3. What's the operation here?
Positive.
Plus
This is really interesting.
3x times x minus 4.
Which translates to the second minus 12x. Negative 12.
Right? Distribute?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then this becomes
You gotta add it.
x squared plus x minus 3 plus 3x squared minus 12x. So now we're getting closer to, okay, combine like terms, and then I'll factor and see if I can cancel anything out. Do you see that, Hannah? You see how it worked out? Okay. All right, so x squared and 3x squared, yeah, 4x squared, and then what? X minus 12x, negative 11x, right? And then minus 3, okay.
Now we have
And then x minus 8 times x minus 4, good. And then now we factor. See, this is good. You got it down to one fraction. And that's when you can factor it to see if you can cancel out anything. There's no GCF, so guess what? Swing AM. Bless you. So you have to swing this over. 4 times negative 3 is, so two numbers that multiply to give me negative 12, but adds to give me negative 11.
I don't think that's possible.
Negative 12 and 1.
Negative 12 and 1.
Never mind.
Right? So bring down the first, bring down the last. rewrite your middle term using the two numbers that you found. So minus 12x and then plus 1x. Hang in there, Isaiah. Okay? All right. How do you factor when you have 4?
What? Oh, split it in the
Split
middle.
it. Yep. Okay.
Divide by 4x.
Good. 4x. Then
X
you
minus
have
3.
x minus 3.
Divide by
Over
1.
here, 1.
X minus 3.
X minus 3. So this is
4x plus 1. X minus 3 over x minus 8.
plus
X minus
1, x minus 3 over x minus 8 times x minus 4. Oh my goodness, this makes me mad. We did all that work and nothing cancels. Fury,
4. I'm triggered.
rage.
Mm.
I know, annoyance. No, practice.
Waste
Alright.
of time.
So you could leave it. Well then, since you factored it all out, you can say, okay, then that's my final answer. Or if you're like, you know what, forget the factoring, nothing canceled out, you can tell me that this one is the final answer. Doesn't matter. Okay? But I would always factor, okay? Because you don't know if it's going to cancel or not. Okay? Questions about this? All right. Okay, so, guys, I want you
Yes.
to try this one.
Oh.
Done.
Oh yeah, you can do this. Okay,
Oh, come
let's do
on.
this one. Hold on, let me see.
So hard.
You know what it is that when I go and look at your work, I follow your work, so then you made a
should.
mistake.
Assume, right?
Alright, so fraction 1, I can't factor it, right? So it's just x plus 1. Fraction 2, I can factor it. X minus 2 and x plus 1. So, what do they have in common? X plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to write that once. And then I need to bring down x minus 2. So then this is the LCD, right? Okay. So LCD x plus 1 times x minus 2. What is this first one missing to look like the LCD? X minus 2. So whatever you multiply on the bottom, you need to multiply on the top. Yep. And then, you see that? It's a minus, right? Please don't forget that. Minus. Is the second fraction missing anything to look like the LCD? No. It already has both. You're looking at the denominator. Is that denominator, because the denominators want to look like the LCD. So that one already looks like it. That one's good. So minus x minus 2. Right? Yeah. You know, this x minus 2 is really x minus 2 in parentheses. If you have a negative in front of it, you need to distribute that negative. And you need to distribute this guy as well. So this is x plus 1 times x minus 2. And then on top you have 2x minus 4 minus x plus 2.
Then that turns into x minus 8.
Okay.
So it doesn't even like factor out.
No, wait.
Yes, it does.
X minus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, negative 4 plus 2. Did you distribute the
It's
negative
not
here?
negative 4 times.
Because these are just combined like terms. So it's a minus 4, positive 2. Okay? So, good. I mean, I want you guys to make your mistakes here. You know?
Okay, you cross out the x plus
Yeah,
1
you
over
cross
1 over
out
x
the x minus 2's, and then your final answer is
1 over x plus 1.
1 over x plus 1. Okay? I really want to try the next one. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so number 13. Fraction 1, fraction 2. Fraction 1, denominator you can factor. X minus 4, x plus 3, yes?
Yes.
Fraction 2, can you factor?
And divide by 3.
Yep. Okay? So, LCD, fraction 1, fraction 2. So, fraction 1, you have x minus 4 times x plus 3. And that's fraction 2. What do they have in common?
4.
What else needs to come down?
Everything else.
3 and the x plus 3. Good. So that is my LCD. So that means all of that goes down here. What is the first one missing? 3. What is the second one missing? X plus 3. So this is going to be 3 times 3x plus 1 minus 5 times x plus 3. Please make sure that you distribute that negative 5. And you also need to distribute the 3. So then you get 9x plus 3 minus 5x minus 15. And then what does this become?
Combined like terms.
Combine like terms, so 4x.
minus 12, which you can then divide by 4.
And then you can GCF this.
Miss Osborne,
Uh-huh.
I need to go pick something up from my Latin teacher. Can I go now?
What? You have to what?
I have to go pick something up from my Latin teacher. Can I go now?
Can I cross out anything else?
No. No.
No, you can't cross out anything. All right, that's
Here,
it.
wait.
Okay. All right.